Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Thursday, October 10th, 2019. Just brought the dogs back out so they can have some more playtime in the yard. Just gave the birds some greens, so they're happy. They're having some more stuff to chew up on there. They're so funny. They're a lot of fun to play with. So anyway, I'm going to kick this up here to the sky. I'm just going to show you this, guys. Absolutely clear blue, beautiful skies. This whole week it's been cool, but it's just the weather has just been absolutely, other than that one cloudy day that we had, it's absolutely been fantastic. Gorgeous day. All right, so let's talk about hold on a second. There's my neighbor Richard. He just got his four-wheeler, so he's getting ready to go. He got it. He wanted to have it for hunting because he's getting older, and so when he's pulling the deer out of the woods, he doesn't want to have to do it by hand anymore. I wonder if he's going to pull in here or not. No, he's just going by. Okay, so we're going to jump into topic. Okay, so it's so funny because people have this misconception. So I'm going to clear up a couple things about this whole California situation and the power outage. Who's affected and what is affected because of these power outages? So we're going to talk about all those things. But so when people say, "Oh, it's only 800,000," only 800,000 people are affected by this power outage. Well, actually, it's 800,000 customers. So average home has 3 people in it generally. You're talking about 2.5 million people generally that are going to be affected by these power outages. Anywhere from 5 to 7 days is what they're talking about that these people are going to be without power. It started on Wednesday night at midnight. That's when the power outages started going down for people, and they're doing it because, like I said, we all know why they're doing it. They're doing it to cover their butts in case of something happens. But so who's affected, and what effect is it going to have on the people? What effect is it going to have on the communities? And what effect it's going to have on businesses? Let's think about that first. Let's talk about all the small businesses that rely on people coming in, restaurants, and those type of things, relying on people coming in and ordering food and having dinner and stuff like that. Well, you don't have any power, you're not cooking anything. So all those people are going to be greatly affected. All the people that have a lot of medical needs that they need to have, as far as if they're on a breathing apparatus to help them breathe, meaning a ventilator or just even O2, run by a concentrator, that needs power. So those people are obviously affected. There's a lot of other compromised people that definitely need to have power to survive as well, that are going to be affected by this. So it's them taking these steps and doing this. It's a very odd situation. They've never done anything, as far as to this scale before, to affect this many people. And again, I truly believe that PG&E is doing it to cover their own butts, and that's it. So they don't have lawsuits with with the winds coming in off of the ocean and stuff like that. So it's definitely a very interesting situation. But the people that are trying to live through this and try to make it through this, that's the people that are suffering in this situation. So here's something to think about, okay? And actually, I'm going to even say, Bruce Foster just sent me an email, and he talked about preparation. And people are like, "Well, I don't have the money to just go out and get all this stuff and do this, because of this thing happening." And he made a great point, and that's why I wanted to share this with you, and I wanted to give Bruce a shout out. Because of this information that he gave. And what he was saying was, which makes a lot of sense, which is myself as one of these people that have done this for years, we sacrifice and we save and we do things and we build up our supplies a little bit at a time. Nothing that I have that I buy overnight. Absolutely nothing that I have that I do overnight. Even with this property, we have been developing this property since before we moved here. We bought the property 2 years before we moved here full time, and so this has not happened all at once. I didn't just come in and get everything done all at once. This has been a slow process, and prepping is the same type of premise. It's a slow process that you're working on to build up your supplies, to get things in place, and it's sacrificing. It's going, okay, what's more important? To put some stuff away, to have it for that rainy day, for that emergency that you don't know what that emergency is going to be, or to go out and do whatever else is that you want to do and spend that money on. So people that prep do make a lot of sacrifices, and I think a lot of people don't realize the type of sacrifices that people make. I was just talking with my neighbor, and I said, I haven't gone on vacation now. It's probably been 3 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. We went down when Josh was still in college in South Carolina. We had gone down to South Carolina, and I spent a couple days with my buddy Reese and his family, and his wife and son and stuff like that. And they opened their doors to us, and we stayed with them for like 3 days. And it was funny because I had met him through YouTube. We talk on the phone. We still talk on the phone almost every single day, but we just, we had never met. And so he was like, when you come down here, you're coming here and you're going to stay with us. And we would think that would have been uncomfortable, but it wasn't, because of the fact that that's how, we got to know him. But that's when we went on vacation. We went down there, spent 3 days there. Then we went to Myrtle Beach, stayed there for, I think, about 4 days, and spent time with Josh and stuff like that. And that was the last vacation that we went on. Well, Josh has long since graduated. He lives in New Jersey now. So it's been a while, but the thing is, there was other things that were priorities that we needed to get done other than go on vacation. But don't get me wrong, I definitely, we may go when Heather's on winter break. We may get out of Dodge for a week. We may make that move this year just to get that change of scenery, because once winter sets in here, it's not going to be a whole lot of fun. But anyway, so that's why we do what we do. You know what I mean? We make those sacrifices, and a lot of people are not willing to make those sacrifices. So now there's that old saying, guys, you reap what you sow, okay? So now you have 2.5 million people affected by these forced power outages by the power company, and now they're facing that emergency situation for them. And how prepared are they? How prepared are they? Well, when you do the math, again, like we talked the other day, when you have 95% of the people are not prepared for a 2-week disaster, how affected are these people going to be? So you had the panic buying, you had people losing their minds, going out, trying to grab a generator and everything like that at the last minute type of thing. If you do things on a very methodical way and build up your supplies, when that emergency rears its ugly head, be it a personal emergency. See, emergencies, guys, come in a lot of different categories. Personal emergency, loss of job, death in the family, sickness, a prolonged sickness that you can't be at work and you're going to be out of work. That's what those personal emergencies are. County emergency, state emergency, those type of things. Those things happen as well. So again, you never know what is going to happen. And that's why we prep, that's why we get ready the way that we do. And so that's why, we make those sacrifices ahead of time for those things, for the unforeseen. And so a lot of people are not willing to do that because they just want to live day to day. Well, when these type of emergencies happen, with these power outages like this, that's an emergency for these people, okay? And it affects so many people in so many different ways. You're not going to get gas. You're not going to be able to go out to the grocery store unless you're paying cash, and they can handle that way. But think about the people that have a freezer full of food, and now you have no power for 5 to 7 days. Guess what? Probably that food is going to go bad unless you have a way to maintain that, to keep that frozen. So, these are things that people need to think about, they need to take into consideration, and they need to have planning for. Prepping has such a bad connotation, and in the media and in the news, you're labeled as crazy if you prep. Well, you know what? 100 years ago, that was a lifestyle. People did it on an everyday basis, and they did it because you prepared for the worst and you hope for the best. We have gone completely backwards in the thinking nowadays, and it's kind of sad to see, to be honest with you, that people don't think about these things. They're not prepared, they're not ready, and so it's going to cost them, and it's a shame. It really is a shame, but it happens all the time. So, you know, that's what are you going to do? I mean, it's part of life, unfortunately, and people are going to have a really rude awakening, obviously, in Northern California now. Kids aren't going to school, you know what I mean? So now you're using up all those emergency days when, you know, like for every year they get so many days that they prepare for emergencies. Now they're going to be looking at, you know, having this long period of time of just not going to school because there's a power outage because PG&E decided to kill the lights on everybody. So again, it affects a lot of people in a lot of different levels, and so people need to think about that and think about, now this is what I want the rest of the people in the rest of our country to think about. What if this happened where you live? What if this happened in your town, in your state, and there was huge areas that were going to have this blackout? And here's the best part, guys, you may not know it's coming. What if there's a blackout or a power outage that you have no idea that was coming? So those are things to think about as well, okay? Because you never know. And that is why we get ready. We get ready for the unforeseen. That's why people prepare. That's why they get ready. So I want you guys to think about those type of things. Neighbors are coming. Their kids just got out of school. So they're walking by as we speak. So that's pretty funny. And then the dogs are being tough guy guard dogs. So, but so that's what's okay. Okay, good babies. Yo, you are tough guys. Look at you, tough guys. Yes, you are. They're letting you know whoever's around or whoever's out there, but they're doing really, really well. They love being outside and they're running, which is great. It's good for them. And they have not tried to take down the fence or anything, guys. So anyway, I want to hear your guys' feedback on this whole thing. Hey, enough for now. I want to hear your guys' feedback on this whole thing, okay? I want to hear what you guys have to say. What didn't I cover? What other aspects of this type of an emergency that's happened out in California? What is also affected, you know? Think about banking. You're not getting any money out of the banks, that's for sure, because all the power's down. So you're not going to be able to get any funds out. And a lot of people these days do not use cash. They don't have cash on hand. So those are things to think about as well. So there's a lot that's affected with this type of situation. And so I want to definitely hear your guys' feedback on it. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I don't know if you guys can see Goliath up on one of the sawhorses. He's up there crowing away, being a big tough guy. So anyway, guys, oh my God, it's so funny. Remember, we're all in this together. That's important to remember. Also remember, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen. Also remember, STD, guys. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is you. Nobody else can do it, okay? Stay positive, stay away from that negativity, and you will be fine. I definitely want to hear your feedback on this, guys, okay? Remember also, tomorrow I will be live streaming tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so please join us for that. And actually, Heather will be home this weekend, my college girl. So she will be home, so you guys will probably get a chance to see her in the live chat. Goliath! What's going on? So funny. All right, guys, I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.